Hello, thanks for joining. Today I'm excited to share with you how to do some ombre letters, whether this is for a card or layout. This is Annemarie Julian Wetzel. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm going to highlight the primary product of the Party Alphabet dies, but I'm going to show you how to create an easy ombre title, and then stay around because then I'll share with you a layout that I did with this inspiration. So this is just going to give you a quick tutorial of what's the best way to create the letters. So I am featuring Lost Lagoon and Misty Moonlight. When you are creating an ombre effect, an ombre means multiple colors. In this instance, I'm only using 2, but you can use 3 or 4 colors as long as they blend well together, that the colors coordinate well. So again, this is Lost Lagoon and Misty Moonlight. And when you're creating the letters for a title, you're going to want to get a piece of paper that's going to be large enough to hold all of your letters. So for instance, these are just some samples that I have here of the letters to show you that they're all going to fit on this piece of paper. So make sure your paper is wide enough, tall enough for whatever letters you choose. Then I am going to start in the middle. I'm leaving the top white, although I could have put a third color in there, but I like to leave it white. And then I'm going to start with a lighter color and then go darker. So to start off, I'm going with Lost Lagoon. I am going to rub that on this juicy pad, and then I'm going to just pat it off to get that sponge splotchy look off of it. And I'm going to take it starting from off the paper and moving it off to, or just moving it along. And you will sometimes get some splotches, but again, by doing this as well, you don't know where your letters are going to end up, and it will be okay. But again, you can continue to blend and those marks will go away. I'm going to move this to the other side, just turn it around. I'm going to come off. Just to continue to blend that in. I want a little bit more in the center here. Again, the pressure that you put on your blending brush will determine how dark or how light your color will be. Obviously, the darker or the more pressure, the darker the color you will get. All right, so we're going to leave that as is. I'm going to come back and blend it a little bit more. Then I'm going to get into the Misty Moonlight. And I'm going to do the same. Go off and bring that on. And it's easier from the bottom because I can go across or come up from off the paper to on the paper than in the middle. But you also want to make sure you're blending it in with the previous color. And then you go back and we'll reblend that. All right, let's turn this around. I love actually how the dark edges come around. So if you just wanted to blend the paper and create your own background paper, this is another option. And you'll definitely get that depth from coming off the paper along your edges. All right, so again, I'm just gonna go back to the Lost Lagoon, and I am gonna continue to just blend. You see how that actually is just blended in a little bit more with the Misty Moonlight? All right, so I took the opportunity to pre-cut these letters so you don't have to watch me cutting the letters. I'm going to show you that inspiration. I showed you some letters that I had pre-cut already. Now, you could cut the letters first, and but what's going to happen is you won't have that evenness when you set your letters up. So for instance, I'm going to show you that. So you're going to see how all of the letters, when you're laying them out, will, gotta go this way, will fall into place and be even. So your layers of color will be evenly distributed. All right, so let me show you some inspiration. Let me clean up my mat here because ink did get on as we came off. Okay, so here's the inspiration. Snow Smiles. Isn't that adorable? This is my great niece, Vita, and one of her first play dates in the snow. So I took the new paper. So if this is not familiar to you, this is coming out in September through December mini catalog. So you are getting an early sneak peek. And this is called Peaceful Gardens. Love this paper and love all of the variety of colors in there. So, and the backside. So this is the backside of it. Great color combination for this. And I titled it Snow Smiles. So this again is using the large letters, and then this is using the a la mode. And I could have ombre that as well. One of the other things I just want to point out is these layers here are all popped up with dimensionals. So giving it additional depth to this fun, beautiful layout. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you will subscribe to my channel, Create and Craft with Annemarie. And please comment, let me know your thoughts. Have a great day. Thank you.